Так, куди поранення?
This is Lugansk region area of Bakhmut, 8-7 kilometers from the front line. Here, armored vehicles bring wounded soldiers from the front line because no ambulance can go that deep. Otherwise, it's going to be destroyed immediately.
Near the village of Belogorivka, among havoc and desolation, Ukrainian combat medics established a field hospital called a stabilization point, as close to the front line as possible to reduce evacuation time. Here we meet Jeanette, a Norwegian volunteer and mother of 4 children. She personally visits field hospitals and frontline cities to estimate the demand for medical supplies, equipment and armored vehicles.
When I go to the hospitals, I go to the field hospital, there are a lot of bombing, there are destruction. There are field hospitals that is get bombed, so they need more. And the equipment that they use, it's ruined. And a lot of the cars we are providing, they will last for a couple of weeks, maybe months, and then they also get bombed. So we need to keep donating and keep giving.
Combat medics fight along other soldiers and make everything possible to keep the vitals until evacuation arrives. The intensity of fire is so tremendous that expensive heavily armored vehicles are just disposable here.
Sanya, you're a hero. Hold on, everything will be great. Everything is set up so that we can provide high-quality medical help. It takes about 15 minutes to bring a soldier here, if you can take the person straight away from the battlefield. Sometimes there are situations when we can't get the person out for hours.
To get into war zone with the chances to come back, medics use donated M113 British armored vehicles and Ukrainian own-produced Kozak 2. But even these juggernauts get destroyed at the rate of 2 per week. Once the wounded are brought to stabilization point, the race for survival is on.
They bring the stretchers in with this big lump on them from blood, flesh, and so on and so on. We immediately cut off all the clothes and identify the injuries straight away. We put a cannula into the vein and give the necessary anesthesia so that the surgeons can start working.
Так, куди поранення?
There are different types of injuries, like bullet wounds and shrapnel injuries. There are also injuries from contusions, acute traumas and closed craniocerebral injuries and others, all varying severity. The most serious injuries are those to the head, chest, abdomen, yet serious injuries to the upper and lower limbs also happen.
Having to deal with the death of brothers and sisters in arms daily, the Ukrainian medics have to attend to unwanted patients as well.
Recently, we've had loads of Wagner fighters, convicts, interesting personalities, one might say. They're all covered in tattoos, often with fascist symbols, and they've ironically come here to fight fascism. This is Ahmed. He used to be Kadyrov's fighter, now he wears Ukrainian colors.
Unfortunately, even the effectively organized logistics is not always enough to save the life of the critically wounded soldier. Field hospitals are supposed to be protected by Geneva Conventions, but being there is not just dangerous. Unfortunately, it's often a matter of time before they are deliberately targeted by the Russian army.
Every day we suffer losses. There's a lot of mass missile strikes against Ukraine. Yesterday we found out that they destroyed a hospital in the area near Bakhmut, and all the army medics there were killed. Unfortunately, we are all at war.
Combat medics more than anybody else face the brutality and immense amount of pain brought by war. And yet they keep saving lives daily, sacrificing their own.
When I go to the vanguard, I take off any signs that show I'm a medic, all crosses and all chevrons, because medics are the primary target for Russian snipers. They are literally hunting down medics. It's the same thing with medical transportation vehicles. We try not to put any signs on them too, no red crosses, because they will be the first target. Usually this is all prohibited by international conventions. But we all know who we're really dealing with.
Oleksiy Savchenko, United 24 Media.